Alrighty, so this is going to be a video, and this is going to be another topic video. Today we're going to be talking about, let me check my notes. Today we're going to be talking about 5 ways that you can spot that he is a player. Okay, so 5 ways you can spot he's a player. If you're new here, welcome as well. My name is Crystal Corian. This is Black and Affluent, and we get into some things over here. So make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a beat. And let's go ahead and talk about this. 5 ways that you can spot a player. Number 1, if when you first meet him, he is already listing off reasons why he does not get into relationships. Like, before you even ask any questions about whether or not this is going to result into a relationship, and of course in the beginning on your first date, you're not even going to be asking those questions. So what they'll do is, like, they're a player, they will beat you to the punch. Okay, basically they will beat you to the punch when it comes to letting you know, look, I'm not going to get into no relationship. And then they will give you some long-winded excuse as to why, give you all their trauma, and tell you that's the reason why they don't get into relationships. Okay, what they're trying to do is basically establish a cushion so that you know, already get it in your head, okay, this person's not going to commit to me. They try to establish that so that you know that they're about to start, you know, doing their own thing, not really going to take it serious, and they don't want to make it to where you kind of ask them, what are we, and you get it confused and all this other stuff. So they're trying to establish a barrier already from the jump so that you don't even make it into something else than what they want it to be. So that's the first sign that they're a player, because that lets you know, yeah, this is not somebody who's serious about anyone. If before we even, you know, sit down to have dinner, you're talking about why you don't commit. Okay, it's because they're trying to gear up for just trying to, you know, get that area down there and all that other stuff. Okay, now the second reason, or not second reason, but the second way that you can spot that you're dealing with a player is he's never available to hang out whenever you want to hang out. Whenever you want to hang out somewhere other than outside of the house, like outside of his house or your house, and he says no, but he only wants to come over at nighttime. He, you know, wants to see each other on his terms, whether it's in a vehicle or, you know, in a car, but never like out. That's how you know that he's a player, because he's playing some sort of games. Because why do you only want to see me at nighttime in my vehicle or at my house? Or why do you only want to come over my house whenever we hang out? Why can't we ever go somewhere and hang out? You know? So if he, you know, establishes a relationship with you where the only time you see him is when he comes over and he's trying to come on to you sexually, then he's a player, because he's not somebody who's really going to take anybody serious unless he wants to, or he's just not taking you serious enough to not be a player and to do those things. Okay, so that's the second way. The third way you can spot a player, if he's constantly hiding his phone whenever you guys are hanging out. Like, if it's almost to the point where it's so obvious that he's hiding his phone, whether it's, you know, making sure it's flipped over whenever he goes somewhere, or if he leaves the phone in the other room with you and he steps out for a second and like go to the bathroom or something, he brings the phone with him in the bathroom. Or, you know, on a date, he has to step out for a second and he brings his phone, or he flips it over and then grabs the phone, or just has a panic attack when it comes to just his phone not being right by his side all the time, he's most likely a player, because he's hiding something. Okay, also, if with the phone thing, if you guys are just in the car chilling or you going somewhere and he has his phone, right, and you guys are listening to music on his phone and you're trying to change the song, and then he snatches the phone away from you or won't even let you hold the phone and change the song, definitely somebody who's a player. And if he doesn't answer the phone around you, like numbers be calling him, he don't answer, like none of that, definitely a player. Okay, so those are definitely some red flags right there. Alrighty, so Dang, which one was we on? I think that was just 2, right? Okay, number 3. Third way that he may be a player. He is somebody who never ever takes accountability for the things that he does wrong. So if every time you guys have an argument or an issue, he's always blaming it on you, even when it's not your fault. Like, you know good and well it's not your fault. You may have even raised the issue, or you may have, said something to him about something he was doing, and then he flipped it back on you. That's how you know he's a player, because that's somebody who is very well versed at playing mind games to where they can flip an issue back on you and make you feel like you're always the problem. So if every time you guys get into a disagreement, you find yourself apologizing to this person even though they did something to you, or the argument started because he did something to you, but then he finds a way to kind of revert it back to you and make it to where it's your fault, you end up apologizing in the end, definitely a player. And he got you like this, okay, wrapped around his finger, because he's definitely playing some mind jujitsu right there. Okay, now the fourth way that this person may be a player, or the fourth way you can spot a player, if he tries to automatically put you in the friends with benefits role. Okay, now we're going to talk a lot about friends with benefits on this channel, because that is something that happens to a lot of women. They get put into that role unknowingly or knowingly, but thinking that it's not going to forever be that way, but it's falling for their trap. So if they automatically put you in the friends with benefits role, making excuses, oh, I kind of want to see where things are going to go first before I commit to you, so I think we should just be friends with benefits, and then maybe it could develop into something, like giving that false hope, that little piece of hope, or just straight up telling you, oh, I'm not ready to get into a relationship right now, but maybe eventually I'll be ready, so let's just be friends with benefits until then. Like, if he just keeps giving you a slimmer of hope of the fact that you guys may be into a relationship, and then he almost makes you work super hard, like try to basically doing everything that a wife would do. Like, women be in situations where men basically make them jump through hoops like a dog just to get into a relationship. So he got you cleaning his underwear, coming over, cooking him food, paying for all the dates, doing all this other stuff, and you guys aren't even in a relationship, and you almost feel like you're obligated to, because you feel like you're fighting for his attention. You're definitely dealing with a player and a manipulator, okay? And we're going to talk about a manipulator another day, but that's definitely some manipulative stuff right there, to make you really feel like you're not the prize enough, to make you super insecure into doing all these things that, a wife would do, not somebody who's working their way up to be a girlfriend. Okay? And I'm gonna just say the fifth one, because I think we're on the fifth one, okay? I hope we are. And the fifth way you can spot a player is, sorry, I got a message. The fifth way you can spot a player is if he stays in contact with all of his exes and they all think that they still are dealing with him romantically, okay? So if he, lets you know that he is still in contact with his exes, or even friends, let's say that if he has a lot of female friends too, then he's most likely a player. If like all of his friends are females and they all slightly flirt with him, you see them texting him questionable things or just being a little too friendly, definitely a player, definitely somebody who likes to have women on their roster and to feel as if, they should have a whole bunch of women is kind of like an ego fulfillment thing for them. So those are just some ways that you could honestly spot a player. Hopefully you don't run across one of these types of people, but this is basically how you spot them. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up this video, make sure that you subscribe, and I will see each and every one of you in the next one. Bye.